everybody? I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. My name is Randy. Of course, this is the 55 Garage. And today we will be continuing on with my Miata project. As you have seen in previous videos in this build series, the engine is back into the car. It is sitting on a set of AWR motor mounts. The transmission is back into the car as well. While those two things were out of the car, I took the opportunity to replace the open rear differential that was in this car, and I swapped it for a Torsen 410. As well, I put in a set of poly diff bushings, so the entire drivetrain should now be nice and tight. There should be no more of the shaking and vibrations that I was experiencing before. So on that front, the drivetrain is good to go. But the subject of today's video is I need to start considering the fuel system. Now, the stock fuel system on this car was primarily designed for an engine that is about 102 horsepower max. And I will be easily doubling that when I put the turbo onto the car. So I don't want to run into a situation where as I'm tuning this car and I'm able to turn the power up higher and higher, I start running up against the limitations of the stock fuel system. I don't want to be maxing out my injectors. I don't want to max out my fuel pump. Those are dangerous things to have happen when you're dealing with a boosted car, because you do not want to run lean under boost. That has very explosive consequences if that were ever to happen. So today there are some upgrades I'll be making to the car. One of the things I will be upgrading, I will be swapping out the fuel rail to one from Radium Performance. As well, I will be changing to a larger fuel pump. As well, I will be installing a new set of injectors. So when all of this gets put back together and the car is ready to go for me to start driving it, I should not have any fueling issues whatsoever. With all that said, the next thing I need to do is show you guys these parts that I was just talking about. So the first upgrade I will be making is stepping up to this fuel rail from Radium Engineering. And the reason why is since I am running a MB head on my motor now, I can't use my stock NA fuel rail. It just won't bolt up. So I decided to pick up one of these. And as you can see, it has dual bolt holes. This fits on an NA or MB head. So this makes my job a whole lot easier. As well, as you see, it accepts the stock fuel pressure regulator. I'm gonna run this right now. And since this is connected to vacuum, the stock fuel pressure regulator will raise pressure with more vacuum. So I'm gonna see how that's gonna work. And later on, if I find out that this is not keeping up, I can easily take this off and then swap to an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator. The next upgrade I'll be making to my fuel system is I picked up a set of 640cc injectors from FlowForce Injectors. And the reason why is I know with the power level that I want to run, I will easily max out the stock injectors. So I just went ahead and ordered up a set of these. And the cool thing about when you order a set from FlowForce is they come with this card and basically they flow match your injectors for you. So that is pretty damn cool. And it comes with everything you need to be able to put them into your fuel rail and also to have them connect into your stock fuel injector connectors, so you don't have to do any kind of wiring. It's pretty much plug and play. At the same time I bought my injectors, I also picked up a new fuel pump, and this is a Dodgeworks 200. And this one, it flows 255 liters per hour at 40 PSI. So the power level that I'll be running in the car will be more than supplied by this fuel pump. So I should not have any fueling issues when it comes time for me to do all my tuning work. So I have a little bit of work I need to do to the injectors to get them ready to be put into the fuel rail. So I'm gonna get started on that next. So here we are. This is the fuel injectors from FlowForce. When you get them, they come with these spacers, these blue spacers for your fuel rail. So set those to the side. And then you have your O-rings. You have the top hat fuel filters that go on the top of your injectors. the injectors themselves, as well as these are the connectors that go from these injectors to your stock Miata fuel rail. And then you got some lube to help you put all the injectors in. So you want to be careful with these O-rings. They will tear if you try to force them in, so use a lot of lube and gently kind of rock them into the rail. I've also bought extras of all of these just in case. I don't think I'll need them, but putting them together is pretty simple. When you get them, there is another O-ring that goes on the side of this, and you slide this cap on, and then you put your fuel filter in here. You put your O-ring on the outside, and then you slide it into the rail. Now, when you go to put these together, remember, that fuel filter will come out. So when you go to put these in, make sure that when you're done, you keep this rail somewhat vertical so those fuel filters don't come out. Now make sure that your O-rings are looped up to make this next process very easy. Slide them in to where they go in the fuel rail. And like I said, remember, those fuel filters will come out, so try to keep it as vertical as possible. Now, all 4 injectors are in the rail, and this is ready to be put on the engine. Now, here we are back in the engine. Make sure to lube all of these lower O-rings, and then just line everything up. And don't forget your spacers for your fuel rail. Perfect. Next, Radium supplies new hardware for your fuel rail. All right, so the fuel rail is on now, and I think I'm just going to run my inlet hose here and then have my outlet run out of here, and then that way I'm still deciding whether or not if I want to run a E85 sensor, and if I do, there's actually a space down here where I can make it very close to the outlet, because it's recommended that you run your sensor on the outlet side of your fuel rail instead of the inlet side, but that will make my fuel hose runs as short as possible. I have my injectors all ready to be plugged back into the stock wiring harness, and all I need now is to run my fuel lines, and we're good. Now that the fuel rail is installed in the car, I'm going to go ahead and consider this a wrap. I was going to install the fuel pump in this video, but I think I'm going to save it for a separate video, just in case if you guys are wondering what a specific install looks like. You don't have to try to sort through a very long video. It just makes it easier. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Liking the videos really helps me out with the various algorithms that exist in cyberspace. As well, make sure you're subscribed so you know when these videos come out. Also, make sure you are following me on Instagram, you're checking out the website, and you're also checking out my Patreon. There is some content that just does not make it into a video, but I will share it on those other platforms. Also, make sure to check out the shop. I got some t-shirts that just dropped. This is one of them. So it's coming close to the holiday season, and what makes a better gift than a 5-5 Garage t-shirt? Other than that, I am going to end this video. I got a couple of things I need to research before I do the next step. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourself wherever you are, staying safe, and I will see you guys on the next one.